You're watching News 24 Live. Welcome to our Monday morning sports chat with the gents from Sport 24, editor Garen Lamney and chief writer Rob Howing. We're going to unpack some of the weekend sports results. Gents, good morning.
Morning, Nick.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
The big result, of course, last night's AFCON final. I managed to stay awake till the very end, till the bitter end. Ivory Coast finally getting it. This talk of this golden generation getting close, but not quite getting there over the line. They finally did it, hey, Garen?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's their first victory in 23 years. And to be honest, they had the only players that I actually recognised, mainly thanks to the English Premiership. So they had Yaya Toure, Wilfred Boney, playing players like that, and Kolo Toure as well. So, I was silently backing them, even though I think Ghana is Rob's second team in Africa. So, good for them. It was probably the worst final of match of soccer I've ever seen. It was so boring. The weather didn't help. It was raining. I think there was just too much on the line, too much to lose. So the players seemed to sort of, be content with extra time and penalties. And the penalty shootout was actually the most entertaining part of the entire match. In the end, we had 22 penalties taken. Every single player, including the goalies, took a penalty. You had Ivory Coast winning 9-8 on penalties, with their goalkeeper scoring the winning goal. He actually got off the ground, faking an injury perhaps, to score the winning penalty. So, secretly I'm quite happy this tournament's over. It's been pretty much a disaster for Bafana ever since they went out in the group stage. Sort of dragged on and on with teams that we don't really recognise.
And all the sort of off-the-field stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. Crowd unrest, not a great advertisement for African football.
The tournament moved.
Absolutely, having moved from Morocco. Subsequent to the final, Morocco have now been banned from 2017, 2019, fined €8 million or something. It seems bizarre. As far as I understand, they were concerned about the Ebola virus, and CAF seem to have rubbished that excuse and banned and fined them. I'm pretty sure they're going to appeal that. So moved to Equatorial Guinea, obviously not a mecca of soccer in Africa, only 2 or 3 grounds available for the tournament. But a lot of crowd unrest. Equatorial Guinea, to be fair to them, did fairly well in the tournament. They went all the way, late into the semi-final stages, but their crowd obviously not great for them, throwing all sorts of missiles at the players. You had refs ducking and diving for their lives, so not great for Africa. It sort of doesn't put a great slant on African football when we look at the global scale, looking for more teams to be included for the World Cup. At the moment we've got 5, I think, out of 32, even though there are 50 odd countries that do play football in Africa. So not great, and I think we thought Algeria, who were the star African team at the recent World Cup, would do well, but it wasn't to be. They went out fairly early. So down to Ghana, Ivory Coast, the elephants of Africa, getting the monkey off their back after 23 years.
Yeah, Rob, that sort of old adage, a team of stars doesn't necessarily make a star team, which has been the case for the Ivory Coast. The last few tournaments, the World Cups, AFCON, they've had the Toure brothers, Kalou, Drogba, Jovino. So this time they got over the line without Drogba.
Yes.
What do you think sort of finally did it for them this time around?
I don't know. I think maybe just that determination to sort of make it happen before the sort of almost a golden era sort of unravelled, and they were determined to actually show that they can actually get over the line. And I was disappointed, of course, because I have a bit of sympathy towards Ghana. But it was, as Garen said, the conditions looked pretty awful. Sort of really steady rain, and there was a lot of sort of inaccurate passing as well, which didn't make for a good final. But then let's face it, finals of major sort of international sporting events tend to be pretty wretched affairs. I can't think of too many spectacular Rugby World Cup finals. Soccer World Cup finals also tend to be very cagey, cat and mouse. And the longer, the more you get to sort of 75, 85 minutes, the more you think the players are taking that cagey option, thinking, well, let's go for the 50-50 lotto of getting through extra time and then getting to penalties. When people are sort of physically tired, mentally sort of challenged, and things can sort of unravel in a big way. But look, I mean, there were certain pluses of the tournament. From a South African point of view, okay, we blew out from a very tough group, but what it did do inadvertently was give a few of our players who, let's face it, get flogged quite a lot. So they play a lot of football, but the PSL went into a big gap. And because South Africa blew out a little bit early, there was almost an extra week and a bit for our players to almost refresh in time for the PSL season. So maybe you'll see a few positives there, with some South African players filtering back into domestic soccer, maybe a little bit fresher than we had anticipated perhaps when they went to the tournament. So I'm just clutching at straws to give a good South African slant on the tournament.